Hello. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm Teresa with Keep in Touch Crafts, and I am in Oak Grove, Minnesota. We are going to be looking a little more at our butterfly bouquet set of products that we have out now. Last week we looked at that last Thursday, and we ended up having so much to do that I needed to come back and finish because this set of products is just so vast. So many things you can do with it. So I just thought, let's keep going. I didn't want to just give it partial attention when there's a lot you can do to it. This is a fun set that you can now order. It was just a pre-order for a while there. As far as us demonstrators, we were the only ones that really could get it ahead of time. And then now, anyone, my customers, and we can all order that set now. And it is something that is going to be until like May 5th, I believe. And it is an early release out of our new annual catalog coming out this summer, which is May, I believe. So it is just something fun to get us through. Our 2-month celebration is behind us now, and this is kind of a fun thing to look at, and it's something new that we can work on and appreciate while we're going through to the next part. So I'm going to start with, let's see, we are looking at the next paper pumpkin. The cutoff is usually always on the 10th. So this time it is kind of a mountain theme, hiking, that kind of thing. And I have a little flyer I'll show. Joanne probably knows all about this. But for those people who tune in later and who might watch after a while, then, you know, on the replay, welcome to you as well. Feel free to leave comments, to share, to shop, to, I don't know, and let me know if you have any questions too. All right, so what I'm going to do is transfer this down so that we can get to work and hopefully have some fun projects to do together. And I would love to see what everybody else is doing too with their butterfly set. That's the one thing, if anybody does get this butterfly bouquet set, you're going to have more than you can handle for different things that are ideas and samples, and they are everywhere. Everybody's loving this, and there's so many samples out there. Looks like I'm wearing a crown. Oh, yes. There we go. I got to go over here, right? That thing. Yes, I have looks like the top of a pineapple or something, doesn't it, on my head? Yeah. Oh, Raina's here. Are you kidding? Hey, Raina. I didn't see her name on here. Yes, so I need to work on my wall. I've kind of moved things around a little bit, so I'm not really happy with how the wall's set up, so I might have to tweak that. But it was kind of one of those deals where you go, I don't like it like this anymore, and you're rearranging, and then before you know it, you're up to your eyeballs in a mess. Maybe you don't do that, Joanne, but I do, and my husband says either I'm crafting or I'm organizing in here. It seems like between the two things keeps me busy. Okay, let's take a look down here, and hopefully this camera will be okay. Like I said, I've moved things, so I might have to kind of tweak it a little bit and get it set up a little better. But okay, I'm going to bring in some goodies. Like this is the what I wanted to show you. Oh, it's way up there. Okay, what I wanted to show you for the next paper pumpkin, deadline is March 10th, and it does come with 4 stencils and a sponge to do some coloring on. So that is going to be so fun, which is something different. As far as I know, they haven't ever had anything like that in their set, so that is cool. So feel free to order that now if it's something that you're going to want. And then I'm just re-showing you here this. I do not like how I have this. It's kind of hard to see and stuff there. That might be better. This is the set I was talking about, Butterfly Brilliance Bundle. I think it was called Butterfly Bouquet when we first started ordering things from it. And it comes with the stamp set. This is the dies that come with it. There's an outline die. This is all one piece, It cuts out all the stamp, which is also all one piece. And then these are individual dies that go along with the set. And it comes now with some paper for now. This is not going to be in the new catalog, they said. This is called Butterfly Bijou 6x6 Designer Series paper. It's a really large set, and it has a lot of pretty colors. It all kind of coordinates together, of course. There's a lot of choices with that. I don't know if you can see this all. Go down a little bit. Lots of pretty paper, and I have used a lot of it. There are 48 sheets in this, so it is going to last you a while. And of course, they're all double-sided. This is what's on one side, and this is on the reverse, that kind of thing. So one side's more maybe monotone, or just like one or a couple of colors, and then the other side's going to be more of the printed look to it. And here is, well, actually, here's first a little different look at the dies. I thought this kind of showed it a little bit more. This one is really different. I didn't know what it was for at first, but I think it's kind of like a, excuse me, like a little trail behind the butterfly, like a little bubbly dust. I don't know what it is, but a little brick wall here. This one is just, oops, I gotta find where I'm going here. This one is just texture. Oh yeah, that shows it, right? And so it just shows you some texture, which is really cool, like a crosshatch, some little outline ones, and that's what the bricks look like. Oh boy, I'm not good with this tonight. Okay, that's the dies. So this gorgeous pack of paper. There's a lot to it here. Use your imagination, boy. That you can do a lot with this. And that's basically showing you the one side, and then there's, did I show you that one? I don't know, there's two sides, but very nice paper. And then what's nice is it'll come with this cardboard piece that tells you the different colors that it coordinates with, which is what one of my favorite parts of Stampin' Up! Products, because they do coordinate so well. I know that the coral color in my paper is going to match my ink and my cardstock and that kind of thing. It also comes, this set came with this Natural Touch specialty paper, and it's kind of like a wood grain. I have a piece that I'll show you for our project tonight. I don't know where to put it. I'll show you it in a little bit, but it just looks kind of like a wood grain. I should have taken it out of here, but you get a couple of two pieces of it. It's kind of a birch look. Then it's got some texture on it, so it's kind of fun if you'd want something that's kind of a wood. I haven't gotten to use this very much, and I kind of want to try coloring it and embossing it and doing a lot of fun stuff with it. So I'm going to set this to the side, and I am going to bring in, oh gosh, okay, at the end I want to remember to show some swaps that I got from some people the other day. So I do want to remember to do that. So there's that. And I am going to bring in a little, I usually use stamping on that little mat. I'm going to try to get this out a little bit further, you guys. I'm really sorry about moving that around, but it just feels like it's too far away from me. Okay, so we have a project tonight that I'm going to work on with you, and it's going to have a few steps to it. So we have our butterfly stamp here, and it has all 6 of them on here, and it's super quick. If you want to get a lot of butterflies cut out, and you want to go, have a lot done quickly, it is nice because you just stamp it all, and then the die cuts them all out. And so I kind of showed you that, I think, last week. And I'm also going to be using a little bit of our fluid watercolor paper. I'm just going to use a small piece for the front of our card. So any watercolor paper, this is a really good one that we have at Stampin' Up. My color palette for my card is going to be the Petal Pink and Terracotta Tile and the So Saffron, just kind of a real, like a pale or pale type of a set here, or a palette, I guess. I am going to be using a congratulations stamp, and I'm going to be using that for something. I'll just have to show you. I'm going to use some of this gingham ribbon that is in our, I think it's bumblebee color. It goes good enough, really well with that. And then, oh, what else do we have here? So I had gotten the sentiment for congratulations, and then I'm using just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. That is from the Happy Thoughts stamp set. And let's see. I am using a little bit of all-purpose, this is the Frost White, what do we call that? Like it's a real, it makes a Shimmer Paint. There we go, hello. Shimmer Paint, and I love using this stuff. It's just a little pot of it, but it lasts for a long time because you put it into either alcohol or water, and it just kind of dilutes it, and then you can spray it on, or you can stamp it on, you can sponge it on. It's a lot you can do, but it just kind of gives that little bit of shine. All right, so what else do I have here? Okay, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of our adhesive sheets, and this is going to be so that when we cut out the detail for our butterflies, so that they have adhesive all over the back and you don't have to try to get glue on the back of those. So that's another product I'm going to be using, adhesive sheets there, which are really handy. Okay, so we are going to start with, first thing I want to do is I'm going to be stamping, this is just a half a sheet of the, let's see, which one do I have? I have So Saffron, and I'm going to be stamping the butterfly image on here, and to do that, I'm going to use my Stamparatus. I think we talked about that last week. It's definitely the way to go, and I think Joanne said that too. The way to go, yeah, I can't find anything either, right? Joanne's saying that if she organizes, then she can't find anything. Well, I hear ya. It's hard to keep track of everything and keep it where you want it. So I do want to stamp this image on here, and the reason I use a Stamparatus is you can go back and stamp it a couple times if you don't get your image quite the way you want it the first time, and you don't have to worry about pressing so hard and it moving around, that kind of thing. So I am going to use my darker color, the terracotta tile, okay? And I'm going to ink that up. It's probably kind of a strange choice for the outline. I mean, it's not really the outline. It's actually the colored part of the, it'll be underneath the outlined part. So the body part, I guess you'd say, of the actual butterflies, because we are going to layer over this a detail cutout. Okay, so I am having this up in the corner really well. I should probably throw my magnet on there a little bit, but if it's where it needs to be, that'll be fine. And so I'm just going to give this a press, and it's a big stamp, so it sometimes can take a time or two, but you don't have to really worry as much when you are using the Stamparatus, like I was saying, because if you didn't press good enough in a certain section, you can go back and try it again. Oh, wow, so you can see I did not even come close to pressing good enough there. I hope I can get in there good enough. Sometimes by that hinge, it can get a little bit harder to get your image, but you just have to keep that in mind, and then you can press it on. I've never had trouble with it. I mean, if it were right up against, you don't want to do that, of course, but I just didn't press good enough in that area, which is the nice part, is you can try it again. As long as it doesn't move, you're good. I'm probably rocking this a little bit. Sorry, guys. This table's a little more rocky, I think, than my other setup. Again, I'd want to get it right there, okay? Now, there is a little bit of a halo mark there, but that's going to be cut out when we cut out our, with the die cut. I'm just going to make sure I have enough ink on this portion of the butterfly there. I just want to make sure it's right where it needs to be. Press, press, press. Okay. There we go. That's pretty good. I am going to just kind of press it between my hands a little bit. Okay, that should be good. I think that's fine. All right, so this is the image that we're going to be using for the card, but I don't want them all to be exactly the same. So what I'm going to do is get my ink colors out here, and I am going to be brayering some color on. Okay, so I have the 3 colors on my card, Petal Pink and So Saffron and the Terracotta Tile, and I'm just going to kind of do an effect where I brayer it on and it kind of gradually changes. So I'm going to use this sponge brayer that we have, and I'm just going to kind of go at an angle. I'm going to start with the, this color is not really going to show much. It is our, the yellow. I could maybe go up to a little bit darker if I find that it's not covering quite like I want. But I can see a definite change where I'm going with this. Don't know how well it is picking up on the camera there, but I can definitely tell it's adding some color. And I don't want them all to be the same. I'm not even going to use them all. I'm going to probably just use 3 of them for the actual card. But I might put one on the inside or on, you know, use them for other projects, that kind of thing. So there's one of the colors, and I think maybe I might go a little bit further down too or something. Just have a couple stripes of the real nice yellow color. And then I'm going to keep my brayer the way it is. I'm not going to clean it or anything, because I just am not a cleaning kind of person. Yeah, I just don't like to do that unless I have to. And I'm going to try to get this Petal Pink to show up. Maybe that'll be a better way to do it here. Whoops. Okay, I got to kind of coax it. Come on, Petal Pink. It's not showing up. I might need a darker pink. Each time wow, something went flying. I don't know what that was. Every time I do a project, I don't like to make the same color, so I'm always experimenting with different colors, and so I haven't used these exact colors yet. The ones other samples I've tried were a little bit different. So, yeah, that's not doing anything. I'm going to go and get, let's try the, I don't know. Wonder how, what do you think? Yeah, this might work. Let's try this. This one is Flirty Flamingo. Tyler's even here. Oh, hey, Ty. Oopsie doodles. Oh, Craig's at it again. I just know it. Okay, so we're going to try some of this color. I want to try to make it look a little more pink. And so I'm putting on Flirty Flamingo. Yes, I see it coming on. I can see some color. Just don't want them all just blah and all one color. I like to swipe on color here and there so that it's a little more interesting. And Corinne, oh my goodness, I love it. Thanks, guys. Nice to see you guys. Since we can't see in person, got to see you on here. I'll take it. And now this is kind of making a little bit of a stripy look, but that's what I want. So this is like one butterfly. It's kind of getting a variety of color on there. I don't want it to be real stripy just because this is going to be a little bit more of a muted card, not a lot of real bright colors. In fact, there is one of our DSP colors in that pack is, oh, I was going to show it. So yeah, so this is kind of my the DSP that I'm going to be using on it, and so I kind of want it to be able to go along with this, kind of all go together. So that's kind of my inspiration for the color. And so I'm putting some of these colors on here. It's a little brighter, but that's okay. And then I am going to put a little bit of floppy. I need to get a little more color here with the terracotta tile. But I don't want to get too carried away with it because it's such a darker color. So I kind of got to be careful not to go too wild with it. So I'm going to go careful here first. And that's what's nice about the brayer, or the blending brushes would be nice too, that you can kind of control them pretty well. I shouldn't say that until I'm done. But you have a little control. It doesn't just cover it with color immediately and then you're like, I didn't want to do that. So I'm just kind of putting it here and there. And again, like it's very stripy, but that is what I am purposely doing that. And just to kind of make it a little bit of a variety colors there. I think that's pretty good. And do I want any more? Okay. So you get the idea. That's just giving us kind of some pretty colors of our butterflies for our project. And so I'm going to set my ink to the side. I'll probably have to come back for some of that here when I'm stamping sentiments and stuff like that. But now the next thing I'm going to do is cut this out. I'm going to get the die that we use. This is the die, and you can see that we'll be running it through. Now I can't use my smaller die cut machine, our new little one, but I will be able to use it for the other, for the detail dies. And so I am bringing this guy in. I don't know if you really want to see this or not, because this guy's a big beast. So sometimes I just do it off camera. I don't even know if you're going to be able to see it, but we'll see what happens here. There, you can see my whole messy mess. So what I'm doing is I have a couple plates, and this is my Stampin' Emboss machine. Well, actually, it's the Big Shot. I don't have the new one that they have, but someday I'll be able to get the bigger new one. I do have the little Stampin' Emboss machine, which is super nice, but, you know, someday I'll break down and get the large size that would be able to do this die, so you can see how it kind of fits in there. You want to get it just so. And you can, sometimes people like to use like Post-it notes or whatever, or if you have a magnetic plate, that works really well to keep it in place. I'm guessing that when the butterflies are cut up and separated, they look very different. Yes, exactly. Yep. That's right, Joanne. I think it's going to look a lot different. This is just kind of a start. I just don't want them all to be the exact same. I wanted a little bit of variation in the color. I don't know how I'm going to be able to really do this. You getting dizzy yet, guys? Alrighty. Hopefully it just cooperated with me the first pass through. And the smaller one is a little more easy for me. All right, so this is coming right off. Okay, and we can save that because I'm going to show you something else. You can do that. So here they are. Yes, they are just, you know, it's not overly exciting, is it, right now? But we'll be able to put those detail pieces over top. So then what color to use? Now they are kind of looking very similar. So we'll see. We'll kind of decide what to do with that for color wise anyways. Can maybe go down a little further. You probably don't want to see my ring light in the way all the time. And I'm going to set this big machine to the side. And we're done with that main outline one. And so then I'll bring my work surface back here. Okay, so here are the pieces that you need, or that I'm using for this project. So I have a piece of the DSP that comes with the Butterfly Bijou pack of paper, 4 by 5 1/4. And I have a card base of the Petal Pink that is 4 1/4 by 11, scored in the center. So if you have an 8 1/2 by 11 sheet of paper, you just cut it down the long way and then score it in the middle at 5 1/2, and that's our card base. So you can tell this is going to kind of be doing that. Okay, I love this kind of a watercolor effect on there. And then our guys, these will be really matching well. But we're going to do some other things because I just don't want to keep it too simple, I guess. So the inside piece is 3 by 5, and I already stamped it. I cheated. Just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. This will be on the inside. Kind of an odd shape, but you'll see why eventually. Yeah, I moved it. Hi, Craig. Okay, I don't know. Craig's coming in to help me out with something. I probably don't even know. The ring light is a little bit in the way. Should we move that out? There. Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay, thank you. You were frozen on my end for a minute. Well, I hope not anymore. Okay, on the inside, we're going to use the other part to the 6 by 6 paper. In fact, it was over here somewhere. This piece is 2 by 5 1/4, and it is going to be going on the inside. So here's the inside. I'm going to be putting it like so. You'll see. Inside pieces. All right. What are the chances I won't lose them? Front, I am going to go ahead and adhere this DSP right there. And today I'm probably going to use, well, I could use what I call my green glue. That's something I usually use a lot. I don't know. This is the Seal Plus. Super strong, so you know that once you get some of this on there, as long as you get it where you want it, it won't move. Which can be nice, just as long as you get it where you want it, right? So we will adhere that down to our card base. Try to get it in the center without getting it crooked and all that good stuff. Alrighty, there we are. And some other things I'm going to be using is I have a piece of this, the Natural Touch Specialty Paper. I'm going to try to make it so you can see it a little better. It's the wrong way. Can you see it? Well, it's okay. It doesn't look like much, but in person you can see that there's kind of a nice texture of a wood grain on there, so it's kind of cool. It's just a real natural look. And so I have a piece of that. I also have just a 3 by 5 of the So Saffron. Here's the fluid watercolor paper, 2 3/4 by 5. And so these are just going to layer together. You can see that I kind of have a real muted, kind of a pastel look to this card. I've made some other samples that are definitely more bright and that kind of thing. So I just want to show that versatility, that you can make it in many different tones to your cards, and just by switching up your paper, because the paper in this set too has some real bright pinks and that kind of thing, so you can kind of switch it up. So the next thing I want to do is I want to put the color onto our watercolor paper. And I'm going to do that with the technique using a block. And the block is just going to smoosh the color onto our paper. And it's going to have a real art watercolor look to it. So it's not going to be like perfect. You're not going to have perfect squares going down on our cardstock here. It's going to look more watercolor. Okay, just to kind of warn you. So we will do, what I want to do is probably put the darker color in the center. So I'm going to get the terracotta tile stamp pad, and I'm putting my my block right on that. And what I'm getting out now is, this is, oh, I was afraid I would forget the name. This is our largest size of, they used to call them like an aqua painter. Let me see. I don't want to tell you the wrong name. They are called, I thought this was the page. Yeah. This is the page of something else. I'll get the name, you guys. It's like, Joanne, do you know it off the top of your head? I was showing you the fluid watercolor paper I was going to show you in the catalog. This is our annual catalog, so it's got like everything in it. and our smaller ones just kind of have supplements of new product or whatever. And so we do have tools in here that are really nice and handy. And I know one of them, here we go. Where is it? Okay, right here. I don't know. I'm going to maybe get you to see it a little better. Annual catalog. It's the picture is right here, and I don't even know if you can see the picture very well, but it shows these 3 little tools. Well, this is the biggest one right there, and it is what they are called was here's the shimmer paint that we were talking about, but this is water painters. Comes with 3. This is the biggest end on this one, and in it I have some of this paint that I showed you, some shimmer paint. Can't really tell, but a little shimmer paint and water, and then that's going to add a little bit of kind of a glittery effect to our ink. Okay, and you'll might be able to see that here in a bit. Hopefully I don't have this too dark. All right, so there is already that water and glitter in the barrel here, so I'm just going to squeeze it and just kind of get some water out onto this block. Okay, and kind of get that a little bit wet. And then I'm just going to use this this actual block as kind of like a stamp. It's going to put all of that ink onto my watercolor paper. And this is messy, so just to warn you, if you don't like messy, you might not like this one. So you can see it's already getting everywhere. You see what it's doing? I know there's a little glare from my light, but you can see through the block, which is cool, and you can see if it's not getting in somewhere. Okay, now that you're probably thinking, oh, that's lovely. But it will dry and be looking cool. It's just kind of a background is all it's really going to be. You can always just kind of do what you want with it if you want to make it like smush out more or less or in the middle or not. And you can use this to pat it around if you want, but I just usually kind of let it do its own thing, and it'll dry and be just fine. I need to rinse or wipe this off. I usually use my baby wipe. Well, not my baby. I usually use wipes for that. And that is a good way to get that ink off because there's quite a bit. Alrighty. Let's go back out a little bit again. So there's that color. And then I'm going to have the 2 other colors, one on top and one on the bottom. And I have to clean some of this out a little bit. And I have other samples that I've done with other colors that I'll show you here in a bit too. So let's get some yellow. And these aren't going to show up as much. This is going to be a lot more subtle, but I just knew that I didn't want the darkest one to be at the top or the bottom. I just thought I wanted that in the middle. So again, we're putting a little water on there. It doesn't really look like anything special at all. You can't really tell here yet that there's that glimmer stuff in there, but it'll show kind of when it's drying. So I'm just overlapping it a little bit and kind of pulling it off in whichever way here. Now it's kind of going over to one side more, but I think it'll be all right. There's our yellow, and this is kind of a color blocking technique, I think they call it. And it's just a way to get color onto your background and kind of a bold, kind of a square, in this case, a bold square of color. So I want to put a little pink down, but I can't decide. Like, I'll just first try the lighter one, but if it's too light, then I'll maybe try the other one that I had to resort to when I was stamping on those butterflies. Alrighty. Yes, you're right. So Joanne is saying that these aqua painters, normally, you know, it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey for everything, but these are the opposite. So if you ever get these, and you have to open them up. You know, it's like takes a little learning curve, or you just got to remember that little tip, because otherwise it's so weird. But they're opposite. The threads go the opposite way. Yeah, this isn't really showing much. It might not be enough color. No, I want a little more color than that. So I am going to use the Flirty Flamingo that I ended up using when I was making those butterflies, when I was striping them up a little bit. So let's try that again. Didn't get too much. It's pretty light. Cindy says, what is under your CS that you are working on? This pad, is that what I bet that's what you mean. Hi Cindy. If you mean, what am I'll guess I'm not sure which thing you mean. If you mean this pad, it's just one of those, oh gosh, they're Stampin' piercing mat, I think they're called. And what I just do for, well, you can stamp on them, of course, but then if you mean this, I just wrap a little piece of paper around it just to protect it, so it's nasty looking too. Like this is the Stampin' Pierce mat, and you use it a lot. Like it's really good for when you're getting the little pieces out of the detail dies. You'll see that we can kind of scrub on that. It's also great for a stamping surface, especially photopolymer stamps, because you need that pad, and the photopolymer don't have that cushion on there. So it's nice to have that cushion underneath, and I usually just keep it covered with paper. So yeah, okay, that's all that is. So Stampin' Pierce mat or a piece of foam. Another one that I have is the one that goes in our, we have a little, I must put it away. We also have like a square grid that goes in our Stamparatus that has a foam pad on it. So that is another one you can use if you use it upside down. So now this, I'm going to let it dry. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but I can tell that there's really some glimmer that that's starting to show where it's dry. Well, that's nice. You got stuff on it. Bummer. Well, I wonder if I can get that out of there. I'm not going to try, am I? I don't know. I just dropped it right on a stamp pad. So, okay. We'll just kind of trim that off and then leave that, I guess. Oh, well, you know, I meant to do that, right? Meant to do that. That's what we can say. It's, you know, it's a handmade look. We can't make it too perfect. Otherwise, it's going to look machine done, and we can't have that. Okay. So I'm going to let this dry, and before I adhere it, I'm going to trim it a little bit to get some of that stuff off of there that I just got on it. Yay. But I am going to leave that going. So the next thing, what's our next thing that we need to do? How about, I'm going to be deciding now. This, believe it or not, is going to go on the front of the card, and I'm going to have 3 butterflies going down the center, and I need to decide which ones I want to use. So they obviously can't be too big for this size of project, and so I am going to go maybe the littler guy in the middle, and then I don't know if I like that, but maybe that might be okay. I don't know. That's what I'll do, I guess. So I need to make sure that I cut out the detail pieces for these 3 shapes. Okay, now these I can use, actually I could use this one maybe on the inside. So I wouldn't have to do the detail piece for that. You might know, you might be thinking, what is she talking about? Well, I'll show you in a bit. All right, so the next thing is to get all this inky junk out of the way, because that is about it for the messy part. Okay, and let's decide what we're going to do next for our, we have to decide what color we want the outline ones to be that we are putting on here. So I want something in that's going to kind of match, but yet be enough to kind of make it jump out at you a little bit, especially when you keep in mind this kind of a palette. Okay, so to me, what's coming to my mind is I could do something like a gold foil. So that's probably what I might end up doing. And so I'm going to cut out the outline of the foil there. Or another thing that could be used is, look at this, oh, that'll wake you up. I think it's a little bit too bright. I was going to maybe use one of the colors on this. I think that's too bright for this. I could maybe use something in here. But what are the, yeah, maybe that would add a little burst to it. Should I be brave? Okay. So this is our Glimmer Paper, which is, oh, is that gorgeous or what? And it's super like shiny, glittery, but it doesn't get anything off. It's not the kind of glitter that is all over your workspace. So that is so fun. And it comes in such a variety of colors. You could, you know, use it for a rainbow, but you could also go for your color scheme in your project and just go to certain areas. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. I might have one that's a little more yellow, one that's a little more of the peachy color, and maybe one a little darker. But this way it'll get kind of some interest in there, I think. So what I need to do is get my dies for this. And here is the set. So this is the set for the, or the outline die, or the detail for that one. And this is for this one. And here, the only way I can tell these two smaller ones apart are by their antenna. Let me go in a little bit closer. Or which direction? Okay. So their antenna, one of them is like longer and kind of spread apart more, and one of them's, you know, they're just a little bit different. So that's kind of helps you keep that in mind. So those are those, and then if I want to do the one for the inside, I would use this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is cut out. First, I'm just gonna kind of cut this like so that I can start narrowing it down a little bit to my colors. I'll use yellow and pink, and then I'm going to use this in the center for one too. So this center one is the smallest. I think I might want, I don't know if it'll even matter, but I am going to go maybe I'll go a little bit brighter with that one. So I'm going to go cut a piece here that, in fact, I could do it a little bit long, like so. So it kind of has a variety of color, like that. And this one on the bottom, I'm going to go with good, maybe I'll go the pink and get it kind of this pinky side here. And then for the top one, let's see, what do we got? Well, it has it all. I'm going to kind of try to get more of the center for that. Kind of, maybe I'll go like this direction. I just kind of like to break it up a little bit and kind of make it varied, or, you know, not all the same. All right, so these are, I got to get this cleaned out a little bit. Punch that through. Okay. All right. So, you know, I just know right now, I'm not going to do the detail for the inside. I'm just going to do it for the outside three. And so now I'm going to kind of move this aside, and we're going to work on cutting that out. And I'm going to bring in this little one here. This is our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I think that's how it's all worded. All right, so we're going to get a move on here. And at the end, I'm going to show you a ton of samples and some swaps and other things like that. So hang in there, and you know, don't go away, because you're going to have some good fun stuff to see. Now I have my box of plates. We have to use a 1 and two 2s and a 1. It's all easy because it tells you right on here what you need. So the base is here, and I am going to put, I might not do them all at once, maybe two. A cutting plate. So I have one that I use to cut on all the time that's all beat up. And we'll go like that. Cutting side down. There you go. Now this paper, it is a little bit harder to cut. So I have to make sure that it's really doing a good job and it's really thoroughly cutting it all the way through, because if your plates aren't perfect and everything, then it, you know, it may not cut it perfectly, and you might have to try a couple times or switch it around a little bit. So let's see how it's doing. So this is really easy to use. You just crank it through. It's probably shaking like crazy. Sorry, guys. All right. I wonder how. I'm going to go back through again, just since it's so detailed. I want to make sure. Oh my gosh. Come on. It's binding in there. I must have done something. Come on, you can do it. No, it's not coming back. Okay. It must have kind of started shifting. So, yeah, it's moving and everything. I hope it stayed in place. Let's see. Ooh, well, that certainly cut nice. Okay, isn't that, oh, I love that. So all this stuff comes out, and that Stampin' Pierce mat or whatever, that is what this is really good for, is if you have something with a lot of detail and you're having any trouble getting the insides out, you can get a tool that goes on the end of your little guy here, what is, take your pick tool, there we go, it came to me eventually, and it comes right off. How's that? Is that like gorgeous or what? Like, I think you could, I'll get there, guys. I think you could just use that without having the stamp set even, if you ever just had the, those are pretty all on their own, and I've seen projects just with that part of it. So that's nice. Now the other one, did it work? I hope so. Kind of scooted around though. Oh, I think it might be okay. Let's take a look. Okay. I figured I'd drop something. Okay. My little scrubber guy that I'm going to need. My little detailed brush thing on my take your pick tool I dropped. So, yeah, this didn't come out perfect, but I think it'll be all right just for now. I have another one left to do, and that is this bigger one. So we'll run this one through. Okay. Maybe I'll do a better job at not binding all up the plates this time. Oh goodness, I'm like this sloppy, messy crafter. I do better when I'm not like on camera or whatever. I just must get, you know, nervous or whatever. I don't know. So let's turn it around so I can grab the actual handle. That's helpful. And put it together a little better. All right. What a pretty butterfly. I hope it works. Okay. Let's go, guy. What am I doing wrong? Yeah, that rainbow glitter paper. Isn't it pretty? It kind of makes, it kicks it up a notch, as they say, right? Okay, so that's how you use the little mini embossing stamp and cut and emboss machine. Okay? There are a lot of other things you can do with it, and I'll show you some ideas too. Now, some people will take their tool and rub it on there with the die still on it, and also on this side you can do that as well. But since I dropped mine on the floor, see how far it went. Okay, I can see it, but if I can reach it, it'll be the hard part. Yeah. Dang it. You guys. I'm a work in progress. Okay. Sloppy, messy crafting is where it's at. Okay. Well, thanks, Teresa. I let it fly. This is not neat. I don't choose neat, tidy things, do I? Everything I do lately especially has been like messy and all that good stuff. But hey, it makes cool things, so it's the price you gotta pay. Okay. All right, we just about got this guy cleaned off. And what I didn't do, I didn't put the adhesive on the back like I said I was going to. So that would have been a good thing to do before you cut them out, is to put adhesive on the back of this paper, on those adhesive sheets. So, you know, it's fine. What you can do that is kind of cool, though, is only adhere the center down and kind of have it lifted up. You can see where we're going with this. Is this cool? I think we're getting there. I think that looks really cool. Okay, so let's get going on the rest of our project and move this stuff out of the way and kind of start assembling a little bit. Assembling and trimming and all that. Okay, so let's start with our base, which is this one. And I already adhered this on. All right, so the next thing you do is we need to build our centerpiece. So what we're going to have in the middle. This is obviously a little big, but I can trim it down. I'm planning on trimming it. And then the next thing will be like so. And like so. But I'm going to trim this one because it's not... Oh, that makes me bummed that that happened. But hopefully it'll be kind of covered up by some of our... I wonder if I put it at the bottom. Maybe it'll be covered up by some more of the wings and that kind of thing. So I'm going to bring in my little mini tabletop trimmer here and kind of trim off some of my messes. So just a little bit on this side. And of course my layers were all figured out, taking into consideration the size of this. And now that I'm trimming it, it's not going to all be the same size, but it might still be all right. So I guess what I would suggest is before, you know, make it on some watercolor paper that's a little big so you can trim it down, because then if you have any things you need to trim off, you can. All right, so let's see how it works with this. I think it's a little big. I might trim off a little edge. And again, it would have been fine, but of course I messed with the sizes. And then I'm going to put it behind this. But I don't, now this has to be shorter. It's 5 inches in width, or in length. So 5 inches. I'm a little bit, let's see if that's good enough. Might not be quite enough. I'll trim it when we get it all put together. So now, for adhesive, you have several choices. Tear and tape's a good idea. Seal Plus is a good idea. They are very strong, so that's going to be good. Yeah, I think that'll be all right. So I'm just going to do these layers first. Oops. Alrighty. And even though these are muted colors, woo, we're going to pop it up a little bit with some of our glitter paper and stuff like that. I'm just going to get one of the edges all level, and then we can trim on the other one. Okay, so got that. This stuff is super strong, so you don't have to worry about it. If you're using this adhesive, it won't go anywhere. Okay, and the back's all... some of it's soaked through and all that good stuff, so it is kind of nice to be able to, you want to make sure you cover that part up for the most part. Okay, let's see here. Got to try to get a little tidier here with this part, so I want it to kind of come together here, okay. And I'm thinking that's looking okay, all right. Okay, like so. You're probably thinking, what in the world? But it'll come together here. I've made a few of these, not this color palette yet, but, and I thought it was kind of cool. I love anything that looks kind of artsy. it's about as close to like art that I can do. I'm not an artsy person, I'm a craftsy person. So there's a difference in my book. But you can incorporate kind of artistic type things that are kind of fun. All right, so this is going to be going here, but before I put that down, I want to put another little, a little layer that I'm going to be putting sideways on here. And you know what though, I wonder if I need more of a pop. I was just going to use this, this paper and have it go across here. I just wonder if that's just going to not even show anything. So I'm going to go with, I think I'm actually going to take some, a little bit more color. I think I need some of the terracotta tile color. And so I'm going to grab some of that from our background paper from here. And that will just kind of bring a little bit more color pop in there. So the width of this, I want to span the whole width. Oh, I laugh at myself. Geez, what a mess. I'm going to go all the way across, which is 4 1/4. And then I'll probably go about 1.5 inches. And so let's put that out. We're going to go 4 1/4. And I want it to be okay, it'll go across here. And then I want it to be about 1.5 inches, I think is what I was thinking. Now, some of my other samples, I just used a solid color and then I put it through our embossing folders, which would be another idea you could do. So let's put this strip down. It's just another layer kind of in the background. We have a lot of layers on this. I usually don't layer that much, but this one I'm kind of throwing a little more layers in there. Okay, this is going to go on here. Again, nothing cute yet. I know, it'll come. Okay, and I am going to be putting a little dimension in there eventually, popping up the actual butterflies. Wow, that really matched. Wow, okay, that really ended up matching well. I had to throw in that, what was it, that other ink color, Flirty Flamingo in the end, towards the end there, and boy, I think that really matched good, surprisingly. Alrighty, now we're going to get our butterflies ready. I'm not going to remember how I had them set up either. This guy needs a little more work. Okay. I wonder if I have to, I might have to get this one looking a little better. Because I did get this back though, so that should help. Try to get some of that paper out of there so I can get this one adhered on and it'll look nice. Don't want a bunch stuck in there. I think it moved a little bit while I was die cutting it, so, but it should be all right, I think. Okay, scrub, scrub, and set it aside. Okay, here's one of them, and what I'm going to be doing is just adhering this onto the center. And I gotta close this ink, it's making me nervous. And I really like to use glue dots with these. So I'm just gonna put a glue dot right in the center here of the body part of this detail. And that is gonna be all we need to hold this on to this centerpiece, or the center of this butterfly. And that's pretty good. And once you do kind of press it down, it does kind of wiggle a little, so you can kind of move it to where you want it. And then I am going to be bringing this up a little bit anyways, so that is going to be lifted up. And I'm going to put this on the card on a dimensional, so that will bring that up as well. Here are my other two outline pieces. This is, I think I had the small one in the middle, didn't I? This one is here. Gosh, I love that rainbow glimmer paper and this color scheme. It's coming together, I think. All right. Oh, love and glitter, Corinne. Yeah, I think I could, I would paint a room with glitter if I could. Isn't that weird? I don't know. It's stuck with me since I was a kid. I've always loved glitter and bright and shiny and all that good stuff. So it's fun. I can incorporate it this way. All right, there we go. 2 down, and now I need to find the base of this one. I just probably threw it up in here somewhere. This round one, I think, or this one. Okay, this is not the same exact one though, but it might have to work. Or maybe it's this one that's upside down. I hope. Yes. Okay. So once again, glue dot. I miss you guys, Corinne. I haven't gotten to see you for so long. It's a bummer. Oh, thanks, Cindy. Yeah, it's coming together. I kind of like these pinky and pink and peach and those tones together. It's kind of pretty. All right, so this guy is getting put on this one. And you can see where your background that you're putting the detail on, it doesn't show a lot. It's not like it really is pretty forgiving. So it, you know, whether or not you have a lot of detail in the back or not, it's just very forgiving. So I am going to get some glue dots going now. Or I'm sorry, dimensionals. Dimensionals. Is that how you pronounce it? Okay. Yep, I'm going to have to like come and visit you one of these days, Corinne, so that we can catch up. It's been way too long and I miss the kids and all you guys. Okay. All right. So now this guy will go in the middle, just anywhere like so. And he's going to fluff up a little bit. Okay. And then we'll do the same. Put dimensionals. These just pop it up off of the surface and really make a difference. These are kind of a fun staple. You know, I would hate to have to craft without dimensionals. That would be a bummer because you really get used to them and they make such a difference. They can kind of finish it off and really take it up a notch, I guess, as they say. Okay, so yes, I'm going to cover that up. Yay! So my little schmearlap is getting covered up by this guy. Yay! No one will ever know. Okay. Then there's that one. One more to put on there. We're getting there, guys. You're hanging in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 I'll do. Some people use less. I tend to probably overdo it, but they're not going to go anywhere. All right. Okay. Now this one goes here. I don't know why I put it upside down. And that's going to kind of cover up some of that uneven edge too a little bit. Like so. Okay. All right, yay. I don't know if you want to get a little closer look. It's a little much. I mean, there's a lot going on. I probably wouldn't need all those layers since I have such a fancy detail there. But I don't know, it's okay. Then on the inside, I am going to put some, I think I had some paper that I was going to cut out. In fact, I know I showed it to you guys. And it is just white, and then there was a strip of the teal, or not teal, why did I call it that? Oh, that natural type paper, or no, it wasn't the natural, was it? It was the background paper. I don't know. I'm just kind of losing here all my stuff. Okay, so for the inside, you could put, you could use any of the background paper that's just real muted. You could just do white. And I had a shape cut out that was kind of long and narrow. So I remember saying, you'll see why I chose that size. And it's just because it kind of matches the front, how the front is kind of narrow like that. Then I wanted the inside to be that way as well. And so, I know it's here, but I'm going to cut it down anyways. All right. Oh, and here's the paper that I even had it cut out with. Inside, I was going to put, oh yeah, that was for something else. Never mind. So I'm going to trim this down. I want it to be 5 inches this way, and this is for the inside again. And I want it to be about, oh, maybe 3.5 wide. So is it going to fit on here? Come on. Of course not. I'm cheating and going over to my big one, guys. All right. 3.5 by 5. Voila, it just appears. And I think to make it match the front, I'm going to use a little bit of this too again. I kind of like that strip that we had here. I'm going to put that on the inside as well. So I am going to cut a little piece of that too. You would not believe how I tried to be so organized on this one, and it doesn't show. 1.5 by, I know I was going to do 5, so let's try about there and see how we look. And we can just, I can trim that off, and it's way too long. I can trim it off, no problem. And then this was going to go over it. Okay, so that's just going to carry over from the here, and I'm going to try to get this strip kind of put in about the same place. So to make that a little bit easier to do, I'm going to use the liquid glue, and liquid glue just lets you kind of move it around a little bit. And this glue is strong, and it doesn't set up right away, so then it gives you just more time to kind of mess with it a little bit, because I want to make sure it's in about the same spot. So I know I want it roughly in that area, okay? And if I use this grid paper underneath, I can kind of get it in place and at least kind of have it generally straight. That's why it's nice to have a background with a little bit of grid paper on it. Okay, I will trim that in a minute. And we will put our inside on there. Oh yeah, because remember I showed you that I cheated and I already stamped it. That was the piece. I don't know, it flew away. But regardless. Oh, I just see it sitting there. You guys. This is funny. Well, surprise. There it is. It showed up. Okay. Did I say schmierlap? I probably did. That's like a common word that I say a lot. You know that. Schmierlap. It kind of just explains a situation without needing the real word, right? Like schmierlap, you know exactly what we're talking about. So we are putting this on there. And when you're crafting like this, sometimes we need to grab a little eraser to get schmierlaps off. This is just some adhesive that got on there that I don't want on there anymore. In fact, I have a gum eraser that works even better for this. So I'm going to be getting that out in a second. But for now, I'm just going to leave this like so and try to get it as clean as I can. I don't like schmierlaps on there. And I'm going to trim this off now from the back so you can see clearly where you need to trim it. And I feel like I need some rhinestones and maybe a little ribbon. Then I can show you my samples and get on with it, right? Okay. Now I'm not going to stamp. Oh, yes I am. I'm not going to do too much with the front as far as a sentiment on there. I know I had said congratulations, and in fact I actually could do it on this leftover paper. One thing I wanted to show you too is before I do too much, I wanted to show you and just demonstrate that you can use this as another, like a stencil. And so if you get out your brayer, which I was using earlier, or you can use like a sponge or however you like to put color down onto a project, you can use that on this type of use this as a stencil and then brayer that color on. And that is how I got some of the effects I'll be showing you in a little bit. I just took that brayer, and then it acts like a stencil. So that's kind of a cool thing to try too. And you can also move it around and have different layers and that kind of thing. So I wanted to tell you that little tip. And then the next thing would be we need to finish up our card, but yeah, it needs more bling, right? Can you ever have enough? No, I don't think so. So let's get a little, I think this gold will probably be the best. So I'm just going to go with a little bit of a gold right in the center of each here going down. I don't know if it's gold or if it's the yellow or whatever, but pretty, isn't that pretty? And we'll go here. I hope you can see that okay, guys. All right, and now in a sentiment, I would add that strip on there too. So, fun. Oh my goodness. Hopefully you like that, and hopefully it'll kind of inspire you if you're going to try this a little bit. I'm going to show you some other samples, okay? All right, so let's show you some other goodies. I think I made a few other. Here's the ones from last week. I don't know if you remember, or for those of you who were here, you saw us do the floating frame technique. These are the two that we made. You can go back and see that from last week if you want to try something like that. And so then this week it was more of this, oh gosh, what would you call it? My samples. Color blocking. So this has that center strip of color blocking. And oh, one thing I did that was kind of fun, even though this doesn't really need a whole lot, but if you want to add a little bit more of that kind of artsy thing, you just take a blends marker, use the wide end, and you just kind of put it in the cap and flick it, and you can see where it sprays kind of, and it just kind of adds another little bit of a kind of an artsy look to it. Close to artsy as I am going to get anyways. But it's just kind of fun, a little technique to add a little more to it because there's just not enough going on, right? So hopefully you like that one. And these can just kind of pop up a little, which really adds a lot to it. And then we have I'm going to be putting congratulations on the front. Here's a brighter version. It just says, I don't know what I would do without you. And this one, I did the color blocking in the background with the bright pink and the jade and the blue. So that's how I did that one. I don't think I did the inside, but that one's like totally different. We have mellow colors and bright colors, so I just kind of wanted you to see that. And this is another one. This is more the muted kind of springy colors too. Happy birthday. So what if you're a year older? You're fabulous. And there's some splattering on that one. So these three have that color block technique. Using 3 colors typically is kind of what I had done for those. Some other samples. We did some swaps in our group. So if you hear me use that word swap, a lot of times those of us who are demonstrators, we like to have a lot of samples on hand so that we can show you, get ideas, get and a lot of ideas on what we can do with our products and with our sets. So what we do is, like, I made 11 of the same card, and then I turned them in, and then I came home with a bunch of swaps that were made by other people of other ideas. So then it gives you some other things to show and to try. So this was my version of the swap. It was for had to be kind of like shiny and glitzy or something like that. And so I made the background paper with our foil strips, and then I made a frame out of the foil. I did some dry embossing. I did Wink of Stella to make the butterfly, which is the detail one from the set we are using tonight. A little twine on there, some foil, and if things really do get better with age, then you're approaching perfection. Happy birthday! So that was my swap. And some other, I've been playing with this set, so I've been trying just all kinds of things. I wanted to see what it was like with other paper packs too. Thanks, Cindy. Yeah, so this was the hydrangea paper, and I did try on this. This is like a mylar, or I forget what it's called. You know, it's like a plastic paper. I did stamp and emboss on that. I wasn't sure how it would come out with the heat from embossing, but it did okay. It was tough to get the powder not to stick on the other areas though, but that was kind of a fun fold, and I don't have the sentiment on there yet for the inside, but there's an area you can write on your card there. Similar layout. This, I don't know, I might have showed, no, I didn't show this last week, did I? Sending loves and hugs. This is the actual paper, and I just used the die to cut it out, and it was already on the paper. And then you know how, oh, here's one too. I don't know if I showed this last time. This is another different look. Now this is paper that was free paper from our celebration that we don't have anymore, but happy birthday, and some nice black glittery ribbon on there, so that's kind of a fun one. Then I think I showed this one before. This is from Rachel Tessman, and she had used the outline detail dies on this one, and I just thought that was really pretty, that you don't even necessarily have to do the stamping or the, you know, that layer. You can do it that way, but these are nice just on their own. What else? I wanted to show, like, I used those cutouts. You know how I was saying you could use it as a stencil? I did that on this one. So what I did was I took Post-it notes and I die cut out the different sizes of that outline, and then I put those on there. So like I took the white little one and I cut it out of a Post-it, put that down on there. Then I also put this medium-sized one down on another Post-it, and then I used the outline of the actual cutout. Well, you know, it'd be kind of like this, but yeah. And then I just used a brayer and I inked it. So then I inked up the outside, then I took that off and I left the other Post-it notes on, and then I inked them, and then I took it off. So it was just a kind of something totally different that you can do using that outside shape as a stencil. And I also did that on this one, but I left this one open just so you could see. It was just a real subtle background that I had sponged on there, and then I cut out the foil with pink foil and put over top, and it really turned out cool. I thought I would have put it here, but I just wanted you to see first what it looked like before the foil gets put on there, that second detail look. So that background is real subtle, but you can see that in there, and I just thought that looked really cool. All right, those are my samples, and I'm going to show you a few swaps that I have gotten from other people, just to give you ideas of what people are making. They aren't necessarily even this set. I think a couple of them are, but it's really fun to see what other people make and just to give you some ideas. I haven't taken them out of the package yet, so I hope this isn't too distracting. I know it's a lot nicer when they're not in there, but it's like noisy and I don't know, annoying to do that. Okay, let's see. You can see it better, right? Oh, pretty. This is from Sue Wallen hydrangea set, and she has some layers here, background. She used embossing folder, just a real subtle one there. I can't remember the name of that one, but wow, very pretty. It's from Sue. She did the inside as well. All right, Sue Wallen. And so these are all the swaps I got back from making, you know, that one I showed you. I made 10 of, or 11 of all the same. And then you get a bag back of all these different samples. And our theme was kind of a bright and shiny or something like that. So this is a corner tuck fold. You just tuck it in there. And this is gorgeous. A lot of the greens in there. And this is by Michelle Andrade. And she said it was the corner fold. And that just folds right in there. You could right on the inside. Oh, I love that. Just a little piece of the gold twine for the bow, too. And some rhinestones. Pretty. I love it. Okay. And let's see what's next. Then we have one here. I think I know who this one is from. This one is from Joanne. She's the one that's been watching with us. If you're still here, Joanne, thank you. It's gorgeous. I love this set. Oh, it's so pretty. There's the cactus. She has background paper, the 3 panels that are on there. And then the die cuts here. And then these flowers are like a felt. And they come with all in a kit and all in a set. And it's in our new mini catalog. Let me find it. I do not have this, and now I think I'm going to have to look at it because, Joanne, this is adorable. So it is a kit, and it is, oh, here it is. I don't know if you can see this very well. So this kit is called Flowering Cactus. It also is a product medley, and then it comes with a refill kit, too. But Joanne, like, seriously, this is gorgeous. It's so cute. It can be used with the mini emboss machine too. So the dies aren't so big that you can't fit it in there. But they come with stickers and all kinds of fun stuff. And she put some of the twine on there and some of the cute rhinestones. That is adorable. Forever my friend. Oh, and she did the inside too. Joanne, thank you. This is so cute. Love it. That's why we do swaps, is because we get ideas from other things that maybe we wouldn't have known to. Yes, page 9, girl. It's just so pretty. Thank you. This is very pretty too. Carol Lucas, and this is a different set. I should have had this out ahead of time. Love this. It's the dies kind of punch that little detail in there. And we'll have to work on this one. I think I might have to try this one next. And it comes with a die that makes a bow. You are amazing. Oh, that's so pretty. Love it. Thank you, Carol. Fluttering. Oh, here, this is our set, guys. This is a completely different idea. In fact, the background of these butterflies is that same paper, that glittery paper, and then she put the silver foil over it. And this is from Christy Strum. She's in our group too, and wow, she layered the black and white on the back. Really makes that pop, and then the fluttering by just to say hi. That is so cute. So this uses the same paper, only a different part of it. This glittery paper. This comes from on there, the background piece. So I've used it as the outline. She used it as background. Cool. And other ideas. And we have one from Amy Rudd, a new person in our group. This is a beautiful card. Oh my goodness. And it's thank you card, and the background is embossed. And we have, this is the art set. I'm not going to be able to remember the names. She also incorporated the dragonfly punch. That is gorgeous. Wow. So pretty. And she die cut a hole there, and then it has the pink, I'm trying to remember what that is, cherry blossom maybe. Wow, that is so pretty. Nice job, Amy Rudd. This is a popper, and a popper, eye popper, and from Cynthia Howard. Wow, this is gorgeous. Look at that. She used the foil, that pink foil, and the dazzling diamonds is this background folder, embossing folder is called. Wow, and this looks like it's watercolored. Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. Inside, oh, even that's gorgeous. She used our little punch for the corners here and has a light version of the flower image on there. Oh my goodness, gorgeous. Thank you, Cynthia. And we have one, this is from Linda Lancaster, and she's from West Virginia. I don't know why I'm saying it that way. Wow, this is a nice, this is a really cool layout. It could be for a guy too, or anybody, but you know, this layout, I wouldn't have thought to put a strip down the off on the side there like that. It really pulls together pretty. Wow, that's really nice. Striking card. Just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. Nicely decorated on the inside too. Pretty. Oh, good job. Thank you, Linda. Beautiful. All right, guys. Ooh, this is pretty as well. So this one has that petal pink color, and it has a really pretty charm on it. That is our, we had these, or had these as part of our, like a, trying to remember what it was called. But look at that. This heart is just tied onto the ribbon. That's so pretty. Oh my goodness. And then the twine, I believe that's from our snail mail set. It's a pink and a white twine. And then the gold or silver foil, You Were Always in My Heart. And this is the Peony Garden paper. And then, oh, she gives you a little thing. It has, this is from Sherry Stanley from Colorado. Silver basic black ink, Always in My Heart stamp set, ornate layers dies, heart charms, and snail mail combo twine, yes. And then matte black dots. That's what these are. So very gorgeous. And this was another pretty one I just loved. They stamped right on the foil. This is from Luann Peterson, and she stamped that beautiful, I think this is also Peony Garden, and she used Stays On ink. If you use Stays On ink, then it can stay on a real slick, glossy surface like this, and that's how she got that image. But boy, I would think you'd almost have to use a Stamparatus for that. Gorgeous. The world is better because of you. So that was my last swap to show you. Oh my. Well, thank you guys. I'm going to move this here. Move it back up here. Wow. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found some inspiration. In Bloom. Okay, thanks. In Bloom that was the die cut, one of the first ones, I think, right, Joanne? The one that had kind of the die cuts in the flowers and stuff. Oh, that was really pretty. Yeah, I think that was, you're right, In Bloom set. That was, and it's in our mini catalog. Yeah, so if you don't have a catalog, please let me know. I'd be happy to send you one if anybody needs one. It's good until June, this mini catalog is. But we're going to be having a retired list. We're going to have 5 colors that are going to retire and with our new catalog. But that will be something I'll give you more information about in the future here. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Thank you, Joanne and Cindy and Raina and Corinne, and I know there were more, so everybody. And of course, Craig was helping me out too. Nice to see some family names and friends and fellow demonstrators. Just, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you have a great weekend. It's going to be lovely, beautiful here for Minnesota. We'll probably almost hit 60, which is like summertime almost, right? Okay. let me know if you have any questions or if you have any comments or suggestions or whatever. Let me know. If you want to craft sometime, let me know. I'd love to do it. So hang in there. You stay in touch and take care. All right, guys. Thanks.